Welcome to the Unit 6 review sheet solution tutorial. In this video, we will be covering numbers 3 and number 4. If we take a look, number 3 asks us to solve for x. To solve for x, we have to make sure we understand the angle relationship that allows us to set up the equation to solve for it. So here we saw that these two angles here make a line, so we call this a linear pair. We know that linear pairs, they add up to 180. Therefore, we can set up the equation x plus 115 is going to be equal to 180. Again, that is because they make a line, a linear pair. To solve for this, we subtract 115 to both sides. This cancels out, leaving us with an x on the left-hand side. That equals to 180 subtract 115, which is 65. So we can say that x here, this angle is 65 degrees. B, we can see that these two angles make a 90-degree angle. We call this complementary angles. And from complementary angles, we can set up the equation. These two angles have to add up and equals to 90 degrees. So x plus 55 is going to be equal to 90 degrees. To solve for x, we subtract 55 to both sides. This cancels on the left, leaving you with an x on the left-hand side. That's going to be equal to 90, subtract 50. That should be 55. I apologize. This should be 55 here. So the 90 minus 55, that's going to get us 35 as a result. So the angle is 35 right here, 35 degrees. Then we have C. What is the relationship between these two angles? We would say that they are vertical angles. Vertical angles means that the two angles are congruent. They are the same value because they are reflections from each other. So we can just set up the equation that x is going to be equal to 115. That equal sign is because they are congruent. Okay, which means they are the same. Equal, congruent, and the same are the same words that describe this. We have number 4, which is now we are going to solve for the value of x in the same situation, but now it's going to require a little bit more algebra. But we approach the same way. So A, we saw that these two angles are linear pairs, exactly like how we did our A on the above. So we set up the equation the same way. We add those two values together and set them equal to 180 degrees. So that is x plus 5x is going to be equal to 180 degrees. X plus 5x becomes 6x. That's going to be equal to 180 degrees. We see that there is a 6 in front, so we can just divide by 6 to both sides. Then this cancels out. 6 divided by 6 gets you a 1. So that leaves you with an x on the left-hand side. We have now 180 divided by 6. That gets you 30. So the value of x is 30 degrees. Let's do B. We see here that these are your vertical angles, like in part C in above. And we know that vertical angles are equal, congruent, and the same. Therefore, we can set up the equation to be 4x is equal to 2x plus 60. Now, we solve for x. We first subtract the 2x to both sides. That gets us a 2x on the left-hand side equal, this cancels, leaving you with a 60. There's a 2 in front, so we divide by 2 to both sides. Then we get 2 divided by 2, that gets you a 1. So that just becomes x is equal to 60 divided by 2 is 30. So x here would be 30 degrees. All right, so there you go. That is number 3 and number 4.